that perhaps there can still be a way out.
Yes.
Wala naman po makakapigil kay Dwight Ramos, kay Belangel, even last night si Roosevelt Adams was reported as going to Japan, Matthew Wright at marami pang iba. Subalit pwede pong iayos yung scheduling, pwede magkaroon ng classification na hindi naman po maubos yung player natin. At pwede rin pong magkaroon ng sistema na yung magagaling na player ng Japan, paglaruin din po natin sa PBA.
With regard to the poaching of our basketball players, I had a dialogue with the Commissioner of the Philippine Basketball Association this afternoon after the hearing of the Committee on Sports. While it is true that there are a lot of players that has been recruited by some basketball clubs internationally like Japan, Thailand, Korea, how do we solve the problem of poaching? Since their offer is, according to use 3 times, so the minimum salary that they are receiving is around 1.2 million per month. So how can we cope up with this salary? And according to the commissioner of the PBA, there is no salary cap. Sky is the limit. Samantalang dito sa Philippine Basketball Association, meron tayong salary cap. I think it's only 500,000 pesos a month. So, 200,000? 200,000 sa mga bagong players. So how can we solve the problem of poaching? Is there any solution that we can get?
Mr. President, the same question was raised by this representation in today's hearing with the Committee on Sports. They could hardly give me a concrete answer, but one of the answers that we got from the chairperson of the Philippine Sports Commission is to number one, these NSAs would come up with a guidelines, Mr. President. For example, gaya ng mga nurses na dinideploy sa ibang bansa, merong numero, Mr. President, no? Dahil baka magulat na lang tayo, dumating yung araw na wala na tayong basketball player na professional, Mr. President. Yun po, between the jurisdiction of these NSAs, these associations like Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas, but on the side of the government, yun nga po, kung mabibigyan din ng kopya ng kontrata yung ating Philippine Games and Amusement Board, matulungan nila na masiguro na maprotektahan yung ating mga atleta. Yun po yung mga naibigay sa atin na sagot kanina, while wala ho tayong ma-squeeze in kanina na sagot, except parang just like in addressing the problem of the deployment of our professionals, Mr. President, we just keep on producing more talents in this country.
Yeah, not only professionals, Mr. President. The saddest part of it is that they are recruiting collegiate players.
That actually came out, Mr. President. In fact, there was one example in the player of Ateneo de Manila University, I think Belangel,
Yeah.
Yes. SJ Belangel, Mr. President. He was
And even Renz Abando of UST, who was because I manage a team in the MPBLs on one night,
That's true.
and it's considered a professional league, and they pirated one of my players also. They recruited one of my players because of the high salaries that they are supposed to receive in the international basketball league. That they are recruiting collegiate players.
That actually came out, Mr. President. In fact, there was one example in the player of Ateneo de Manila University, I think Belangel,
Yeah.
Yes. SJ Belangel, Mr. President. He was
And even Renz Abando of UST, who was because I manage a team in the MPBLs on one night,
That's true.
and it's considered a professional league, and they pirated one of my players also. They recruited one of my players because of the high salaries that they are supposed to receive in the in other international basketball league. So
Although,
that is the saddest part of it. Even the collegiate players are being poached by these basketball leagues overseas.
gentlemen, it is a private transaction because it's between private entities. PBA being a private institution, I think and I believe in the US, they have contracts. So if they violate the contracts, the penalties and fines are very large, and I think they put a ban on the players for playing particular seasons if they violate their contracts. So I do not. The problem is that's internal. For example, with the NBA, I don't know if we can legislate that because it's a private transaction between players and institutions who are hiring them. I'm not a lawyer, but I can see that there may be a problem if we put a strict ban on poaching per se, no, because it will delve into the realm of private commercial transactions. Yes,
Mr. President,
Senator
with the permission
Tolentino.
of the two gentlemen, Mr. President, during that hearing this morning, I was the one who Viber texted Ambassador Designate Nominee Albano to attend. Unfortunately, she arrived late. She's the Ambassador Designate to Japan. She's here. She's here. And she can, I'm sorry, that late perhaps might not be the correct parliamentary term, Mr. President. She got entangled in a traffic jam, causing the late response. But my question addressed to my manifestation, and Ambassador Albano can just wait to confirm this, is that I requested her presence to shed light purposely to clarify all of this and to bring to the attention of the Japanese authorities that perhaps there should be classification. If it is a college basketball player still playing with the UAAP or NCAA, no go. If he is a PBA player, just on the junior year after a sophomore year after being drafted, no go. But if it is a player on the fourth year, perhaps nearing retirement age, he can be drafted for a year by the Japanese Basketball League. So Ambassador Albano promised me this representation that she will bring it with the Japanese Basketball League authorities. Ma'am, you can wave to confirm. Oh, she is waving to confirm. So the purpose of my manifestation, Mr. President, is that perhaps there can still be a way out.
Yes.
Wala naman po makakapigil kay Dwight Ramos, kay Belangel, even last night si Roosevelt Adams was reported as going to Japan, Matthew Wright, at marami pang iba. Subalit, pwede pong iayos yung scheduling, pwede magkaroon ng classification nang hindi naman po maubos yung player natin. At pwede rin pong magkaroon ng sistema na yung magagaling na player ng Japan, paglaruin din po natin sa PBA para makita rin po nila yung liga natin.
As import.
Para naman sa ganun, ma-offset yung hindi po poaching ang tawag ko dito skills drain. If there is such a thing as brain drain, ito po skills drain. So, nangako po si Ambassador Albano just to contribute to the conversation. Thank you, Mr.
I
President.
want to take note that she waved to confirm. Therefore, let us also confirm her soon.
Yes, yes, Mr. President. So, thank you to Senator Estrada and the majority leader as well.
Mr. President,
Yes, Madam Senator Pia
yes,
Cayetano.
I was going to say